Oh, hey, we're live.
Sure.
Let's see if this is gonna work. Only old people like us will know this song. Do your moonwalking, ladies and gentlemen, because we have new inductees into the WWE Hall of Fame. The fabulous Freebirds. We should just let this play all the whole time. Charlie doesn't know this, but when Dusty Rhodes passed, we literally had the entire podcast. We played Dusty Rhodes' theme throughout the entire podcast for like an hour.
That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal.
Just looping in because there was no reason to stop it. We started it at the beginning, and we're just like, you know what? Let's keep the good times rolling. But we are live and in public again for another edition of the War Report, if you will. Lots of exciting times. Once again, we have Charlie here. Charlie's phone died right in the middle of him about to tell a very interesting story last time. And I don't know, I felt it was almost too good of timing, almost like you planned your phone to die right at that moment when we asked you the hard-hitting questions.
Controversy. Brother. I mean, we do have great ratings. I mean, everything in life is a win.
Ratings.
I will share with you the one Dusty story that I do have that is pretty phenomenal for me. I got to meet Dusty on a level of promoter because I've been in the business since '98. See, a lot of people are like, "Oh, Charlie just got started." No, I've been in the business since '98, and I really got started with Jimmy Valiant in Virginia, and after learning pretty much nothing for Southern wrestling, which didn't really take me very far.
And there it is. That was coming.
That was impressive.
That's a bad connection.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I did want to cut in and say he started sounding like a robot, but
I was just watching Vince's face.
Well, he started slowing down. It was.
eat my
There he is.
Nah.
You cut
Charlie,
out two
we
for a second,
gotta start
Charles.
that over, Charlie. We didn't get most of that.
Okay, well, basically, the cut the short of it is that Dusty had told me a story one time. He said that everybody in the business has levels, and it's pretty amazing actually if you really think about it. That go back to when Dusty was booking the territories. He had like a Ronnie Garvin guy, right? Everybody has a place in business. Some guys ain't a top guy, right?
Yes, absolutely.
But the fans are not going to believe that he is a world champion. And I mean, prime example, Ronnie Garvin. Ronnie Garvin, besides when they gave him the title, Flair, in the Starrcade run that year, they would push Ronnie to that point, or Jimmy Garvin is even a better example. They would push Jimmy Garvin to that point where he would beat Flair. He was ready to beat Flair, and they would pull him back down and put him in the mid-card status.
Right. Yeah, he got knocked. I mean, in those times, you had to have that guy, though. We still need those guys, the middle guys. I think the middle guys are more important than the top guys because now look how many top guys we have and then how many bottom of the card guys we have in WWE. There really is no mid card. They're slowly building it back, but they never had a mid card for the past 10 years.
And it's hard for a guy to go in there and say and trust me, it's hard as a booker for me to look at a guy and say, brother, you'll never work for my title. You know what I mean?
Right.
But the reality of it is sometimes, unfortunately, you have to be brutally honest. That's what this business lacks: the brutal honesty. It truly does. Everyone's so trying to be politically correct and trying to get themselves over. And prime example this weekend, I was at Ring of Honor, and it was pretty amazing to me. You know, I was there and I was hanging out with a lot of the Ring of Honor guys, and I have some actual big bombshells that I'm gonna drop to you guys about our show and everything later. But I noticed something. There was an indie guy that works in Las Vegas. I won't say who he was. He was working as security for Ring of Honor that night. He was checking the door. He was checking the tickets as the people were coming in, right? The very next night on Sunday, this indie promotion was running, and he's their world champion. He's one of their top draws. And I'm like, how do you, if you're seriously going to take yourself serious in this business, going to be a security guard for Ring of Honor one night, and then the next night be trying to do trying to be the world champion? He's a tag team champion, you know. So to me, it's just horrible.
Yeah, but and unfortunately that's how it goes because Ring of Honor was a top level indie and now they're a bottom level big indie with a TV deal basically. So they've gone. It's like soccer where instead of being the top team in a lower league, they're the lowest team in the top league. So like when your guys go up to challenge, not necessarily your guys, but when guys from a lower indie that maybe draws a little bit less than Ring of Honor, doesn't even have to draw less than Ring of Honor because Ring of Honor can draw 500 people in a night anyway. But it's perceived as a level thing. So and they think that they're going to pay their dues similarly to guys work security on TV for WWE or they play police officers. Like that's kind of like their intro to it. So I think that's the perception is like if you take tickets for Ring of Honor or you take money or you or an usher or something, that it's going to build your rapport with them, where a guy like Hunter or whomever is making the decision now at Ring of Honor is going to put you in the mix. I don't know if it's true. Because I have very little experience with going to Ring of Honor to work, so I don't know if the perception is real. I don't know if the guys really do pay their dues by taking tickets and then make it to a match. I don't know if I've ever seen that.
I can just tell you on a level of if it was me, I want to clarify because a lot of people that may, if they do follow out in the Las Vegas area, when I said champion, I don't mean that the world champion was the world champion. He was a tag team guy, but I don't want to get people cross with the names. But literally, in my personal opinion, from the dealings and actions I've had with Ring of Honor, Global Force, with places like that, you come in and you care. Not that you need to carry yourself that you're above anybody, but come in and carry yourself as, I'm a wrestler, I'm here to be a wrestler. If you need me to help you set up the ring before the fans get there, I'll do that. Paying your dues, I have no issue with that. But don't put yourself in front of the fans as a ticket taker or a usher and then the very next night in the same building, in the same town, you're coming out and you're the over tag team champions.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to protect your character and investment of yourself as an athlete or as a character. I mean, to me, I think that's one thing that lacks our business is people don't take our business serious. They don't take it as a business. Mm-hmm. This is a business. This needs to be ran as the business. For some guys, they get to come and they hop and they do all this amazing, and then they go back to their TV show a couple months ago, and guy was out there playing a Russian character, and the fans started yelling to him, "You work in Walmart, you're not Russian?" Mm-hmm. And I'm like, how do you go back and come back from that? You know what I mean? There's no comeback from that.
I think you gotta next show come in your Walmart gear and heel out to that guy.
I'll do it.
Take a roll of smiley face stickers and just put it right over his mouth.
But or what you do is you say, okay, I'm going to pay my dues and I'm going to drive an extra 50 miles or 60 miles away from where I live.
There you go.
Because I work in a public job, and I'm going to go work in the indie territory that no one knows me. If I'm going to play that type of character.
Right. Yeah, you can't play that character. Like I know a guy that he did that. He played a Russian, but it was in somewhere in upstate New York, and he was from Connecticut. So nobody would know. Hey, you're a personal trainer, and your name's Dan, but he's a Russian in New York. Damn it.
Absolutely.
Sorry.
Absolutely. Have pride in yourself and carry yourself into what you want to do. But anyway, sorry, we're getting to other tangents. I know that you guys got a format to keep to.
Hey man, it's good. It's good to have another voice on. Somebody from the outside here, because we kind of stay in our own bubble sometimes, and we start talking about the same subjects over and over, and it's an echo chamber. So it's good. It's really good to have another voice. But you were saying something about last time. It was before our show went on, and then right as your battery died, we were getting into this.
Okay.
Was there? You had mentioned, and again, if you don't want to talk about it in the air, that's fine. But you did mention it before the show. I thought I'd bring it up about promoting in a town where someone else had promoted. It sounded like you might have had a falling out with this person, and you promoted in the same town. And again, it could or couldn't be considered poor form depending on It's kind of an old school wrestling thing where like towns have people. You know what I mean? It's not like a hard and fast rule. So.
Can I just before Charlie gets into it, I just want to say this. It would be a break to the code of conduct if it was a true promoter that he was dealing with. But the person that he's dealing with is a wannabe promoter that doesn't have what it takes.
And this is why I asked the question, because I wanted to get to the heart of it. So good, let's.
Right. And now I give it over to the man.
All yours.
All right. Well, here's. All right. I have been the most humble person in the business because my best friend in the business, Uncle Bill, he basically has taught me in the past, year and a half, 2 years of us doing business, be humble to people, continue to be humble no matter all the success you're having. So I'll backtrack. So I'm going to say humble, but I am going to be truthful because I feel that truth is the best way to solve stuff. So basically, the situation is about two and a half years ago, I met a young lady who was not a wrestling promoter, who had only been into the ring once or twice. This young lady had never been formally trained. She came in, tried to bump a couple times, couldn't do it, couldn't happen. Yes. Yes.
Oh, I think he was responding to you, Steve. We were just letting you know you were breaking up a little bit, but you're better now. So you can go ahead. You can keep going.
I think he's frozen now.
Yeah, no, I can't.
He froze a little bit.
Right when he starts to get into the story.
I love it. I almost like if I knew it was legitimate, I'd think he was working this, but he's not. There he is.
There he is.
You froze a little bit, but you're back.
So basically, to give you guys the short of it, awesome. So basically, to give you guys the short of it, I will. 2.5 years ago, I met somebody. She wasn't in the business. It was a person that she was an agent for a couple of talents. I was running a show out in Las Vegas. It was a military appreciation event. I went ahead, had a lot of sponsors get behind it. It was a really cool event. It was a paid show. And to be completely honest with you, I probably drew like 60 people, and it was a horrible show. It was a fucking massively horrible show. And I take 100% responsibility for the show, because at the end of the day, when people say I had a bad show, a shitty show, a promoter says that, it falls back on the promoter. It don't fall on anybody else because it's your calls on who's in what positions, the flyers that go out, whatever works. But me and this person became very good friends. And during this time frame, we struck up several conversations. Our work ethic was very similar to each other. And I basically ended up with this person. I ended up becoming very good friends, and we decided to launch a company. That company was called Masters of Ring Entertainment. There's like a bunch of noise on my phone.
Yeah, what the fuck is that?
I swear to God, it's not on my end.
Somebody's phone is ringing.
Yes. There's like a thing called an ignore button you can hit. I swear, I've hit it like twice.
Yeah, right? It's a nice little jaunty tune. I don't know what it is.
And it's so funny because someone's here, but no one wants to admit up to it. But everyone's like, oh, it'll stop.
Wait, everybody. I think everybody just muted, and then we figured it out. Somebody,
I muted too.
It's either Ryan or Stu. I don't know who it is. It's intern.
My phone ain't doing nothing, Steve.
Unreal. The intern.
Just watching.
Want to know my ringtone is completely different than that.
I love having control panel.
Ryan, you're freaking me out with the lack of facial accessories today. You're very baby-faced.
I know. I don't know.
All right, so let's get back into the story here after the phone call thing.
So basically, we started a company called Masters of Ring Entertainment. And our plan was to run in Wilmington, North Carolina, because this person lived there in Wilmington her whole life, and she told me it was a great wrestling town. To be honest with you, I had never been to Wilmington a day in my life, and it wasn't on my bucket list. I'll be completely honest with you. I literally said, well, I'm going to go check out the town first before I commit to anything. I went there, fell in love with the city. It's fucking amazing. It's a beach town. People are really cool. It's very laid back. It's a big city and a little city attitude. And everyone was very, very respectful to me. And everyone was very open for wrestling because they've had shitty wrestling there for years. And I said, okay, cool. Let's do this. We ran our first event. It was a tribute to Jim Cornette. And, people who don't like Jim Cornette or do like Jim Cornette, he is a good draw in the South. And I knew it would be money. The show, we did well over 1,000 people for the event. That was first starting because we did fan access during the day and we did a dinner at nighttime. And first we did about 1,000 people throughout the entire day. And for a small indie company, that's pretty good without TV or anything major. I developed a lot of friendships in that time frame with a lot of business owners, a lot of different people in Wilmington. And, and I seen great success from it. We made some money. And, I will say a large part of the success was our social media campaigning, which she was an expert on and still is. And I give 100% credit to her for that. She completely changed my view on you going back to doing flyers and other stuff like that. But there was a lot of holes in a person in their life because they thought that they could run a wrestling company behind a computer screen. They thought that that's all they had to do. But you have to, as a promoter, you have to go out there. You have to talk to people. You have to get flyers on the ground. You have to be a people's person. And that was one of her weaknesses. That was obviously one of my strengths. And social media and network marketing like that with social media, that's a weakness of mine. I'll be the first to admit it. So we played off each other. Everything was great. She started telling people that we're going to take over the world, and basically that we were going to be the next WWE, and that is completely ridiculous. Because first thing you start doing that as a promoter, I will tell anybody who's starting out as a promoter, don't ever tell one of the boys that you're going to beat Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
You lose all credibility, all common sense. One of my dear friends in this business, Steve Carino, has a great saying. Wrestling is like a big-ass piece of pie. Vince got 98% of it. I just want my little corner piece of the pie that Vince don't want. Yeah. And I can live off that comfortably. And so obviously things were rolling good. We went into May. We did a tribute to Trish Stratus and the women of professional wrestling. That it was a bad move. I did not make the right call and pull the plug on the son of a bitch, and it lost a lot of money. And when I mean lots of money, I'm not talking about a couple $100. I'm talking about thousands upon thousands of dollars because we had every major woman that was in the wrestling business there. We ran it on a bad weekend. Again, that's no one's fault but the promoter's fault. It's not the talent's fault. I won't say Trish or Lita didn't draw for us. It's the placement and the time we did it. And I think that the fact that something that major and being that it was a first time ever tribute to women in wrestling like that was done like that, it should have been built up more. Again, mistakes that I made. So we got through the event. First thing, nobody ever got stiffed on pay. It was completely everyone got paid. I personally at that point was probably several $1,000s into debt. My own personal money I put into Masters of Ring Entertainment. I basically went to the person and said, "Listen, shit's got to change. You were out of control during the event. You were catering to the talent way too much. I am not against catering the talent, but if you treat yourself like a mark with the talent, they will take advantage of you and they will work the shit out of you." Mm-hmm. And it is because it's the business we're in. We're in a carny business, not several people who are not carny in this business, but there are several people that are straight carny that do whatever they have to do. And so, I told her stuff had to change. We needed to take a different formula, and the formula was we were going to go do gimmick tables at all these events. We were going to get our name out there. We were going to market ourselves with a guerrilla campaign. We were going to go to every major convention in the U.S. We were going to put in 1 or 2 pieces of talent to be there, and that was it. And then we're going to build back up and continue our fan base here in Wilmington. I was told that I was a fucking idiot. I was told that we can't go from doing 2 major events to backscaling like that because we'll look like that we're too small. And so at that point, I said, we need to backscale. So we were at a crossroads. And I had sponsors that were waiting to go into the next part of the phase, which was going to be a small indie show. We couldn't do that because we would look too indie. So basically at that point, I was left no option but to quit the company that I co-founded. And I told her that I'm going to quit here. And we're not going to run Masters of Ring anymore, and it's over with. And she said, "You can't quit. You can't quit a business." And I told her I want the rest of my money that I've put into this company. She had taken out some personal loans from family. She thought that I was eligible to pay that back, but no one would pay none of my. It was a very that's into a legal situation. I have court records to show her for loss of money, for mismanaging funds. Completely, I did what I had to do for a business to protect my assets for my family. Because when you're in business and you're in a partnership with somebody, you become 50-50 responsible for debts and other stuff. The court case was solved. I walked from Masters of Ring Entertainment with the knowledge, knowing in my head that if I walk away from this, I give up the name. But I felt like the name was so damaged already from stupid decisions that she had made, that it would better for me to walk away in peace and clarity in my mind. And I literally gave up the name. She paid me $1,000 for the name. Paid me back some of the money that she owed me, and basically did payments. She had to make payments to me through the court. Now, it's not to say that this person is a bad person. This person is completely, at that point, I had made the decision, you go in your life, I'm going to do mine, you can have this Masters of Ring thing, because honestly, the damage was done already with the company. Right. So basically, hold on for a second, guys.
Yep. All right, while he's doing that, we'll go around the room a little bit. First of all, I need to get back into this thing for a second. Ryan,
What's up?
You don't have glasses, you don't have stubble, you don't have a hat. What is going? Are you okay? Were you kidnapped? Are you part of the CIA program now?
That's best left untalked about.
Somebody had a job interview or a date.
Yeah,
Right? Fair enough.
should have.
Or both.
Had to be.
So to give you guys the end of it, basically, in June, I launched Gimmick Tree Entertainment. I took my theory that I thought that would work, and it has worked very well for us. We did a lot of merchandise tables, and a lot of promotions, and it was a good decision. And
How did you come up with the name?
I have to give credit where credit is due. And me and my good friend Brad Jones. I've known Brad for since kindergarten. We've been lifetime friends. He's been in and out of the wrestling business for several years. He went out a couple years ago, went to the corporate side of things. He basically, me and him was brainstorming on a new name, and he actually when it pitched it, and I was like, and I thought about it, I was like, well, son of a bitch, that does seem like that would work, and we started it, and that's pretty much the end of how we started it. Like I said, I give full credit to him. That's the one thing that the other advice I'd give promoters tonight. If you're a promoter and somebody comes to you and it's a great thought, give that person the credit that's due to them.
Absolutely.
Don't be that guy in a room. Oh yeah, this is all me. I fucking created this monster, and I'm Dr. fucking Dr. Hyde, whatever. Be that guy who can say, hey, I got a great team member who came with a thought. I bankrolled it. I put all the risk. I put the hustle behind it. They put some hustle behind it, but that's how we came up with it.
Cool, man.
So obviously, everything was good in life. We were kosher. We were floating around. We were doing a lot of different things. We had a lot of sponsors, including Tag Me a Date, that jumped on board with us with what our vision was and where we were heading with things. And then basically, everything was fine in life. November, WrestleCade came. WrestleCade was our big coming out party, I considered it, because WrestleCade, for fans who don't know, is a big wrestling convention down in the Greensboro area Thanksgiving weekend every year. This is their 5th year upcoming. We had a huge setup. We invested money in the backdrops, table costs for expos. We had probably 12 guests there throughout the day. And we truly invested in what we thought was our coming out party, and it was very successful.
Sweet.
The week that we announced we had all these guests coming into it, literally 2 weeks before WrestleCade, I get a notification that my former business partner is coming to the event and is going to have a table. And I'm not against anybody making money in this business, but they brought Terry Reynolds, and Terry Reynolds, I will say, is one of the most phenomenal era. But the person came there to try to screw with me personally. She thought she was going to get set up into a nice area. She had one table and did not have a very professional background set up, and it looked like shit. The boys ribbed the shit out of her all weekend. The boys ribbed her. I mean, I won't get into the incident that happened at the bar, but there was an incident that happened with the bar with a couple of TNA talents that know me, and they basically ribbed the shit out of her and just completely made her look like a fool. I felt very bad for the situation. Even reached out to someone and told her I apologize for what happened to her. Even though it wasn't me saying the stuff to people, just still to try to be that guy. So we announced that we were our first actual show for our Modern Vintage Wrestling brand, which is our wrestling brand. It goes back to our tradition and our honor and our respect of both the modern and the vintage. We were going to do a double shot, which is incredibly hard for any promotion to do.
Yep.
That's even established. We ran in Belmont, North Carolina, and we drew a little over 200 people for the show. It was a very small show at a National Guard Armory, but the crowd was hot. They had fun. The next night we went to Ziggy's in Wilmington. Now, it was a huge, huge show. We had top names on the show. We sold the building out completely. And we turned people at the door. It was an amazing feeling. We truly, all the stuff leading up to it, a good friend of mine would say was we were making first downs, if you want to put in football. We scored a major touchdown that weekend. And we were happy. We had already had a return date set. We had not announced it yet because we wanted to kind of just get through the weekend and kind of see what worked and what didn't work for that particular location. Do we need so many names? Do we not need names? Do we need to continue our programs? We're working with different people. And literally, I find out the week before our show, this person is going to be running a huge expo, Masters of the Ring Expo number 3. So basically they're using credit that they solely did the first 2 by themselves. But they're doing the first, they're doing it number 3, and they're doing it a week before my show. The person is running about literally 10 minutes, and that's walking at a slow pace. It's really more of like a 5 to 6 minute walk from my building at a convention center hall. The person went out there and got big names, and I'm not going to say that good luck on people on that day, but I know what the city of Wilmington wanted, and they wanted good wrestling. We're not going to follow suit and book 1,000 names and go over the top and try to compete on that level. We're going to compete on the level of we're going to do great wrestling that day. And we're going to give people a choice. Either you want to come and you want to go to the normal conventions where you spend $50 to $60 for an autograph, or do you come and you spend $20 and you get a fan experience to take home with you? Now, basically, the person decided to try to steal our building. She tried to do that. This person has contacted multiple sponsors and have told people that we are in a promotional war, and that if you're friends with me, you can't be friends with her. She basically has told people that we completely wronged her, and that she's going to show everybody how to do wrestling. My theory on all this is this: most of you guys don't know who anything we're talking about. And honestly, I don't. This is the first place I've ever shared any of this stuff, because I feel like this: if your product is better, it's better, and I truly feel that in the city of Wilmington, and I will say this with confidence, that I can kick any wrestling promoter's ass.
100%.
Because one, I came from the locker room, so I give back to the boys. And also beyond that, I'm a fan of the business, so I know. And when I book a show, I book the show as what I want to see as a fan. Like what makes sense.
And the thing is too, and one part of the story that you haven't really touched upon. After everything that was done to you and all the things that were said, this is the same guy who then finds out on a poster board who the talent is going to be. There happens to be one person that is advertised as being booked that we know is not going to be able to perform because of contractual agreements elsewhere. So he even took it upon himself to call this person to say, hey, you may want to stop promoting, and here's why for this particular person.
Wow.
You want to tell everyone what the response was to that?
I was told to go fuck myself.
Wait. It gets better. Here's the line. Go for it.
No, Steve, you can go and tell the line. It was actually better if you tell it. It's actually funny when you repeat.
She goes, you can go fuck yourself. We're officially at war, and we're going to kill you.
What?
And then she stuck her finger on the barrel of my shotgun, and it blew up. Like, come on, that's some fucking goofy-ass cartoon shit. Who talks like that in real life?
The line has been drawn in the sand.
Right?
And
she
is going
this means war.
See, you know what it is? And this is the honest truth, because I've worked with both. And I can truly tell you that you got one person that knows how to run a promotion, and you have somebody that just doesn't have what it takes, doesn't have the backbone, will allow talent to run all over her and not produce a good show. So this is almost the beginning and the death all in one shot, because they're going to put everything that they have into this. It's going to be a huge, huge, huge loss, and that will be the rise and fall of Masters of Ring.
And here's the only thing I will say about that, and this is all I'll say about that, and I don't wish that upon anybody. Anybody in the wrestling business, I hope every promoter makes $1 million. I hope you get to live your dream out. You know, whatever it is your dream in wrestling is, because I'm getting to live my dream out every day. I mean, literally this past weekend, I was talking to you guys, you know, beforehand, before we came on about Ring of Honor. This past weekend, I'm hanging out with Ring of Honor. I'm hanging out with all my Bullet Club, Amber Gallows, Doc. I mean, I'm getting to travel the world, and I'm getting to live my dream. I mean, there's not many people in the independents that can say that this is what they do for a living. And I get to live my dream, and I get to go to some of the coolest places in the world. This weekend, we're going to the big event in New York City. We got Dalton Castle, we got Robbie E, we got Bill Abner coming in. We'll have our cool merch table set up, and look what I get to get in it. I get, you know, for the past since June, since I left all that bullshit behind, I've actually had fun with wrestling. Now, don't get me wrong. It's a stressful fucking aggravation, and I'm on the phone 24 hours a day, you know, fucking working like a fucking maniac, and, you know, my dream. And the cool thing that I truly wish for anybody in the wrestling business, and this is kind of the reason I shared the Dusty story a little bit, and we got a little sidetracked. Everybody in wrestling has a place. Listen, I knew I'd never going to main event WrestleMania and take on Hunter for the title. I was never going down that path.
Right.
There was no need for managers anymore in wrestling. So where do I go? Okay, well, obviously I'm not cosmetically beautiful enough to be the commentator for Monday Night Raw. Well, fuck, what else is there left for me to do? Go into promoting. And what did I do? Jesse Hernandez. I went to Jesse Hernandez. Brother, teach me how to be a promoter. Take me from being in the ring as a heel manager. Show me how to be a promoter. And I studied for over a year with one of the greatest minds in our business. And I was a student of the game. And then I get around these guys, and I'll tell you a prime example. We had Tommy Dreamer January 30th in for our show Aziz. Fucking, I tell anybody in the world, book Tommy Dreamer if you're an indie promoter. He'll deliver everything he asks for and then some. He, you know, some guys are big names. We were doing a tournament. He came in. He worked 2 matches, first versus 1. Sometimes they bitch about that kind of stuff. He came in, put us over, made us look like $1 million. We did some great business with each other. But I asked him, I said, brother, can you pull yourself away from being one of the boys for a minute and go and put your hat on as Tommy Dreamer, who's worked in the WWE in the corporate office, who's worked for Paul Heyman. Tell me what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong. Teach me, let me get under the tree of knowledge from you just a minute, and let me become a student of the game. And that, to me, is the key for promoters. I hear wrestlers talk about, I'm the student of the game. Promoters need to be the student of the game. If something doesn't work, do not promote it that way. If it's something that needs to be fixed, do it that way. That, to me, is just the easiest way to solve, literally, going back to this person is basically she dug her own grave with me. I won't do anything to hurt her, but I damn sure won't do anything to help her. And because I feel that if you're truly going to sit there and you're going to pay all these big names that come in a week before my show, you're trying to steal my talent, you're trying to steal my building, all this crazy shit, go ahead and do that. Because here's one thing that this person has done, and I will share this about this person. There's a pattern. I will announce, last week I announced that we were going to do a table at the CACs, and we're going to have a 2-page article. That was announced last Wednesday. Last Thursday, she called the CACs and bought a table. We announced that we're working with Jeff Jarrett in May. She booked Jeff Jarrett for July. If you want to copy somebody, I mean, another prime example I'll tell you guys straight up, and this is, this everything I'm saying can be looked at and notated and documented, and people can be like, wow, this is really the truth. Is that we switched over to a ticket service called Ticketfly.com, which is, I recommend it to any wrestling promoter in the world that's legitimate. They will put you on there, and they will work with you, and they will help you, and they will make some amazing stuff happen for you. So basically what happened was we were on there. We had James Storm booked for WrestleMania, which we do. He's going to be doing a live Q&A. He'll be doing meet and greet. We had some pre-sales on. We had a nice 8x10 of him up from one of his TNA photos. Literally, she booked James Storm for her debut show. She switched from another ticket outlet to the same ticket outlet I use, and now is using the same promo picture that I'm using. That to me was saying, I can't come up with original thought. I've got to copy you on everything. So, that's the only all I'll say is that if you guys, if you want to you want to copy somebody. I heard people say all the time, "Oh, I want to be like Ric Flair." Fuck, I guarantee Ric Flair didn't say, "I want to be like Ric Flair." Ric Flair wanted to be like himself. He wanted to be the man. Be original. Come up with your concepts and push your product and push what you want to do. And
right.
That's really all the negative shit I really like to talk about. To be honest with you, I mean, I'm sure if you guys have questions, I'll answer them. But that's the bulk of what has happened.
No, that it painted a very clear picture as far as I can tell. I don't want to take anybody's side on this one. Oh, fuck it. I think you were right there. I mean, if you took them to court and won, there's really not much else I can say, right?
Listen, at the end of the day, the proof's going to be in the pudding. It's going to come down to who draws.
Yep.
Who puts on the better show and who draws. And there's no doubt in my mind who that person's going to be.
Well, here's the thing too. See, and that's not to knock what you said, Steve. But here's the thing, man. I've already proved myself as a promoter. That person has to prove themselves as a promoter.
True.
And here's the thing. She might kick my ass. Fuck, brother. She may bring in Hulk Hogan. I don't know what she got planned.
Right.
Go ahead and do that and spend thousands of dollars. But guess what? You may have 1,000 people there, 1,500 people there, but if you lost 15 and the next weekend, I run and I have 250 people there, and I made $1,500 on paper, you can walk around and say, yeah, I kicked his ass. Well, let's compare bank accounts. Who kicked whose ass?
Who's making the profit?
Because that's what this business is. It's not an ego thing where I'm like, oh, I'm the best promoter. I had more people than you did. Brother, who going to the bank?
The other thing is...
that's where I'll be.
And the thing is, man, it's not who's drawing today. It's who's drawing 6 months from now. Who's drawing a year from now. Who's drawing 5 years from now. Are you going to, in 10 years... is such and such person going to be putting up flyers in a supermarket parking lot? No. In 10 years, is Charlie going to be doing that or paying somebody to do that? Well, that's what you're hoping for. You want to have that longevity where in 10 years you're telling a guy, hey, could you go to the local food bag and put shit on flyers, and you're still doing it. Like as long as you're in business, as far as I can tell, that is the measure of success. It's not what can you do for me today, or what are you performing as today. It's how are you going to continue to perform. You can have short-term success and not long-term success.
I 100% agree with you. But one thing I will say on all that, I personally, I go out and I hand out flyers myself today. I do all this myself today, and I mean I have a great team. I mean, tremendous team members. I could not. Gimmick Tree would not be where it is without people like Brad Jones, people that's backed me, like a guy like Robbie Rebel, other great people that's came aboard has helped us tremendously. You know what I mean? Guys like Mike, guys like Mike Scott, who came out and helped us, Bill Abner. I mean, guys who believed in us and who sacrificed their time. Vets ones did it. But here's the thing I'll say as a promoter. Don't ever ask someone to do something that you're not afraid to do. If I'm going to tell this guy to go put out 1,000 flyers for me, you damn well better be able to get off your ass and go out there and push out just as many flyers.
Agreed.
Because at the end of the day, you have to be the leader of your locker room as the promoter. And when I mean that, I don't mean, and God, I will tell you a funny story you guys will laugh your ass off at in a second. But you have to be the leader of your locker room, meaning that you have to set an example for everybody that works for you on how you carry yourself. You know, don't go to the fucking show dressed like a fucking bum. Fucking, you know, wear a fucking suit. Fucking show up carrying yourself above people. Not that you're better than people, but when the people of the building come to you looking for who's running the operation, and you're in a pair of fucking army khaki shorts and you know, a half a tank top that's ripped, and you look like shit, they don't think you do. You're not the promoter. You know, carry yourself as the person you want to be. You know, there's a guy that's a mentor of mine, Grant Cardone, who teaches me be 10 times better than your competitor. How you dress, how you carry yourself, how you act, how you look, how you speak. Then that'll translate into your money. But a funny story I'll share with you guys, being with the locker room. I was at an indie show a couple months ago, and this guy, he was coming in, and he was loud, and he literally, I was sitting in the locker room with a couple of my friends, and he told me, "Oh, I'm gonna have to ask you to step outside because you're not part of our group, and I need to dress my guys." And he got in the ring, and he ran it for 45 minutes. Literally, I counted it on my clock, 40 minutes and some change on how to work, how to do this, how to do this, how to do that, how to do this. And at the end of the day, that dude had never even been in a ring. He was a guy who never even paid a due in the business. He just happened to own a ring, and he owned his own promotion. So not necessarily saying that have your leader of your locker rooms and have them step up, but you be the leader and be out point by going to events, by showing up, by dressing right, together every match, and micromanaging the wrestlers.
Yeah, no, the micromanaging thing I agree with 100%.
You've never been in a ring, I can promise you this much, and Joe Koff does not the micromanaging. Joe Koff, he doesn't ring and doesn't tell Jay Lethal different position, and that's the one thing that I did get that I see a lot of promoters do.
What the fuck is going on?
What happened?
I don't know.
No, who's the ringing there?
Oh, and Charlie's gone. Uh-oh. All right, maybe. Oh, is he back? Nope, that's Steve. Okay.
I hit the button. I had to do something.
You hit the button. Okay.
I hit the eject button. His connection was so horrible.
We'll reconnect with Charlie, and if not, whatever. We'll talk to him, I'm sure, again next week or the week after. We can just let him go. We could give him a topic and let him just talk for an hour. That'll be the podcast.
Yeah, he did a good job of it.
It would be better if the connection was good. His connection was horrible.
And the guy definitely needs his own podcast. Fuck, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, he's hilarious.
He needs a TV show. Like, I'm picturing fucking A&E Duck Dynasty, but with this fucking guy.
Yeah, it's he's doing some big things. So listen, we got 10 minutes left. We want to dive into Raw real quick.
Yeah, somebody want to talk about Raw, because I didn't watch it, and it all really sounds like they're...
You didn't miss anything, dude.
It was awful.
You know what it is? It's the expectations were very high because of the week before, and they didn't even come close to meeting them. A huge missed opportunity with The Undertaker. There was all this build of him going to be there, and then his entrance was longer than the amount of time he was in the ring, and he literally says 2 things and he walked out.
Yeah.
I mean, it for what they were trying to do, it worked. I get it, but this was an opportunity to do way much more with The Undertaker. Y2AJ, I love the concept. They're obviously going to do a swerve where Jericho's going to heel turn. Although I wouldn't be upset with a tag title run with those two. I kind of like the whole Y2AJ, and I think together they're actually a pretty good team. I think exactly what we said was going to happen with the women happened. They had it was Becky Lynch versus Sasha. It was a great match for the beginning of the match till the first commercial break. It was straight wrestling, and it was actually really nice to see. And then, of course, it ended up where, with controversy, both competitors' shoulders were to the mat, so it was a draw 3 count. Of course, the whole crowd started chanting triple threat.
Which is exactly what you want. So.
Well, right, except it's not going to happen yet. They're going to probably announce it after SmackDown because SmackDown, they're doing Becky Sasha one more time, which I'm sure is going to end in a DQ or something.
Probably Charlotte running.
Right, probably, and then that'll set up the triple threat.
If you don't have, maybe then we'll have another Swerve title match on Roadblock.
Yeah.
You already have Triple H, Dean Ambrose for that.
Well, so Triple H, kicked off the show with a great classic promo.
Mm-hmm.
Dean Ambrose did a great job with the interruption and, his whole thing. I don't get it. I mean, all right, so now you're going to do Ambrose versus Triple H. Obviously, Ambrose is not winning.
Right.
So
it's another edition of Ambrose Eats the Pin.
Right. It's another edition of Ambrose meets the pin and Triple H wanting to get some of the ring rust out and get a match in before Mania.
He needs a warm-up. Yeah,
let me just jump in for 1 second. Why is it that Triple H can get heel heat against Ambrose, but when he's against Reigns...
Because people hate Reigns.
People like Dean Ambrose.
He's going, and they don't get it. They're going to go with Triple H versus Roman Reigns, no matter what we think. And
they have to turn Reigns heel.
Yes,
they have to.
Exactly.
Just do the heel turn. Give the people an actual reason to boo him. So, I mean, I don't understand why they're holding off to pull the trigger on it.
Some places still cheer him, and they cheer him on the house shows, but they have to realize house shows are where people are dumb.
Right.
I hate to be that guy, but house shows...
You're not wrong, though.
Hey, you got to call it
JR said it best. JR said, before you can become the great face, you have to become the great heel.
Yeah.
And like Rock did before him.
Heel run. The Shield was actually somewhere really in the middle there between baby faces and heels.
Well, with the Roman Reigns spot on that, he didn't have to stand out by himself. He was that guy who finished it.
He was the silent guy, so he had to work hard physically to make up for the fact that they had the mic time.
Now he has to work on the mic time.
Now he has to work on everything. You know what I mean?
But it's not all on him.
He's the cog in that whole gear, but now he has to be the entire gear, and it's not working.
The problem is it's not all on him, though, because they've been booking him so inconsistently.
Right.
True.
And, which reminds me, let's go to this. Stone Cold Steve Austin, who I take his opinion greatly, I appreciate it, and 98% of what Austin says about booking and this and that, I agree with. And Austin said that they've been booking the Wyatts horribly, and I have to agree.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
He called it a travesty.
Mm-hmm.
It is, and it's ridiculous.
Definitely. Travesty is a good word for it.
I actually have a better term. I call it a Travis Shamockery.
Steve, what are your thoughts? I know you're a big Bray Wyatt guy. We all are, and it's it's dumbfounding.
I just, to me, what doesn't make sense is the storyline almost writes itself with Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt is that good that you could give him any opponent, give him any topic, and he's going to run with it and make it his own. He is phenomenal. And it's just a wasted talent. I mean, it's I love the Wyatt family. I love the whole concept of them together. They should be doing so much more with them. It's really it's sad because they should be the easiest people to write for. You know, it's like back in the day with The Undertaker. There was always something to write, whether it was the corporate ministry or whether it was the biker, even though that I consider that the coma time. But there was always a story, even hanging Austin on a cross and Stephanie. I mean, it was always something to do because he was that force that, made cool shit happen. Bray Wyatt is that guy. So why are you not using him to his fullest potential? And he can work in the ring. I don't get it. To have them lose over and over, and then you have Wyatt cut another phenomenal promo on Raw, but he's talking about how you're going to end up like all the rest and all this, and I'm thinking, end up how? You fucking lose to all of them.
Yeah.
So there's no real...
Nothing gets followed through, and it pisses me off. Like, they promote him as this or that, and then they don't follow through. I mean, I understand heels lose more than they win. I get that. But that's not the point. He's not...
They have to win to start things off.
You have to win at least a war or two,
You can't lose every feud.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter. If he beat guys like Ryback or even Chris Jericho in feuds, whoop-de-doo.
Right.
He needs to win a feud over somebody like John Cena. He needs to win a feud over somebody like Randy Orton, or assuming he ever fucking comes back. But it's just it's so frustrating. I mean, to watch that. Listen, Bray Wyatt gets better work in the fucking video game that I got than they do on TV. So Bray Wyatt is my current champion right now. Thank you very much.
It kind of amazes me. Like, what the hell are they going to do with him at WrestleMania? There's nothing.
Nothing. Because they fucked up the Brock Lesnar thing.
I don't know how you dropped that.
I'll tell you what. I would, if this is just me. All right. Now that they have this Ambrose thing going on, this is how I would totally fuck everything up. All right. Okay. And I would have the Wyatt family come out again, destroy Brock. Brock is pissed off. He doesn't care about Ambrose anymore. He wants the Wyatts. Ambrose beats Triple H for the title. It's Ambrose versus Reigns. Triple H replaces Undertaker against Shane, and Taker does his own thing, and then Triple H comes out and helps Reigns beat Ambrose at Mania for the title, something like that.
So basically, you're saying they should rebook the entire thing because it sucks. See, this is the point we're getting to. So you're saying it sucks. Yep.
Because look, they always say card subject to change, right?
Well, not the whole fucking card.
No, I understand that, but to me, that's the only way to salvage everything.
Listen, you want to know the sad truth? You know what's going to wind up fucking happening? They're going to wind up putting all the Wyatts in the fucking Andre Battle Royal or something just to get them all on the show.
God. That's such a useless trophy to win. What the fuck does it do for you?
Absolutely nothing. Look at Cesaro. It didn't do shit for him.
I'm sure it helped out that young rookie, that up-and-comer, the Big Show, when he threw out Hideo with Tommy.
Who, by the way, was a fucking face this week. I don't know if anyone caught that, but he was shaking hands with babies.
Heel turn, take a drink.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I just don't really understand it. The Wyatts should be main event players by now.
They should be
Bray Wyatt.
Prime time players.
And they need to bring in Sister Abigail. They need a chick. And
whomever Sister Abigail may be, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it's got to happen. They need a woman.
They need something.
They need a spark. They had the spark because they were so fresh, and now they're not. This is an absolute example of how you lose freshness.
Yeah,
in wrestling. In 3 years, you just lose it.
So many missed
lose it.
opportunities, and it's a shame.
It's so sad. They had the potential to be like the biggest fucking act.
I'm worried that they're never going to recover.
Yeah, no, it feels like
it's
they
not too
are,
late
though.
right now.
That's
It's
you're
not,
right.
it's not
I would
too
say
late.
it's not
But
too
I'm
late.
worried that it's going to be too late at some point.
There's gonna be a point coming where it's gonna be too late. You're right.
Yeah.
I hope that doesn't come. I hope they get their heads out of their asses and do something about it.
Well, they don't have a lot of fucking time to do it.
Oh.
But hey, listen. But we have something to look forward to next week. Shane O'Mac is back on Raw.
Okay, yes, that's what you're talking about. Yeah, there's really nothing else to look forward to.
Yeah, no, pretty much Shane. That's pretty much what I'm excited for.
Mm.
Listen, and not for nothing, we didn't touch on this, and I know it's top of the hour, but Vince McMahon cut another great, like, old school psychopath Vince promo.
Did he say, I'm going to give you a fucking beating?
Dude, the last thing he says is, he goes, and when Shane loses, he's also not going to be my son anymore. I'm going to take him out of the inheritance. I'm going to take him out of the will. And he will be nothing more than a son of a bitch. And then he dropped the mic.
And here's
Does that mean
one
Linda's coming back?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Coming back.
Does that mean Linda?
She's fighting Brock Lesnar.
Yes, Linda McMahon is gonna fly down to the ring and she's gonna F5 Vince McMahon.
I would
back in
love
the day, Linda made so few appearances that when she did appear, you know shit was going down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Right.
she meant business, and she
That
was
was
great.
old WrestleMania 10 music.
I will say this though, Linda, the worst stunner I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, that was the
Oh
one.
my God, that was
a good
bad.
one either, though.
That
Or at
was
least
such a
it didn't
fucking
at the
mess.
beginning. The best person that took a stunner ever, to me, is The Rock. The way he flips and flops around.
Yeah.
All right, so what if they announced a mystery opponent for Brock Lesnar, and they have, whoever's the ring announcer go, whatever, Minnesota, Brock Lesnar. He does the intro, and then Tony Chimmel's like, our mystery opponent. Right? And they're like, the mystery opponent for Brock Lesnar is. Where is it? Linda just mean mugs her way down to the ring looking like Ronda Rousey coming out for a fight. Oh, that would be my dream match. And plus, you're right. It's the old WrestleMania music.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love it.
Absolutely. All right, boys, we're top of the hour.
You're right. Holy crap.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you have a guest on. The time just flies.
It does. It does. Even though you can't hear 95% of it, but
You know what? I, through context, you catch most of it.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus,
I was able to follow it.
Yeah. I'm currently. I have my not to say that I'm distracted, but I'm a little distracted. It's Super Tuesday, and I have my flat screen with 3 different windows up, tracking this fucking thing, and Clinton is stomping a mud hole in Bernie Sanders and walking it dry. And
Was it ever? Most of the states of Super Tuesday are in the South, and Bernie does not go
he does not
south.
poll well in the South, but he won 89% of Vermont.
He reminds me of a crazy uncle.
They've confirmed victories. Oh God, they've confirmed victories in Alabama, Georgia, Massachusetts, and Tennessee for one Donald J. Trump, making America great again, one state at a time.
we are
We
so
literally need
fucked.
everybody.
We are so fucked.
You're fired. You're fired.
Tomorrow,
I'm going to Canada.
literally tomorrow, Rubio, Carson, Kasich need to go.
No,
out.
Rubio's
They need to
staying
go
in. No, Rubio's
They need
staying
to
in.
go
He's
away.
polling.
Rubio and Cruz are staying in. Kasich's dropping out.
Rubio's going to stay in because he's polling at 31% in Virginia, and he could really he could come alive. He could catch up to Trump in Virginia. That's the only real estate I'm looking here that they're worried about.
Texas is the big state that's playing right now.
Oh, why do they have to play ads on YouTube? Fuck YouTube. I'm gonna get YouTube Red when I can afford it.
Did Vince McMahon do it making fun of Rubio thing
Yeah,
with the
he
water.
did the water thing. There's no way that he didn't.
Because you know Vince
Little
is
Marco.
order.
Oh my.
Oh, the water sipping thing?
Yeah.
That's.
I didn't catch that until somebody brought it up, but I was like, oh yeah, I guess.
I didn't catch that.
But yeah, everybody needs to clear the fuck out of the way to get Donald Trump out of the race.
There's only one person who can stop Donald Trump. Brother.
What you gonna do?
Did you hear? To take it back to wrestling.
Yes, I heard. Tell everybody.
Brother.
Jesse Ventura's talking about entering the race.
Yes.
The conspiracy theorist himself. I would love it.
I hate.
Oh, you know what? Ventura Hogan 2016. That's what I'm saying.
That would be awesome.
Remember
Those
Ventura-
guys handled the fucking Cold War like a boss, okay? Hulk Hogan would fly over to Iraq and drop the big leg. We'd find Obama and Osama and everybody. It doesn't matter, brother. I would get so hyped for Hulk Hogan.
Ventura's like, I think it's time we put a wrestler in the White House.
Yes!
Amen.
I remember that.
Stone Cold for president. Could you imagine?
Stone Cold would be the Secretary of Defense.
Blue laws would be gone from every state in America.
No more blue. Yeah, he's like, beer 24/7. What? Beer 24/7.
What?
All right,
Have a
boys.
shot? What? All right, we should peace out. I'm going to play a commercial for tagmeadate.com because tagmeadate.com is where wrestling night is date night. Big things popping, little things dropping. We are constantly in flux and updating the website. It looks real awesome right now, and you should check it out. It's still free. Eventually, we're going to be charging money for it, and you're going to like all the premium features, but you should really get on board while it's free so you don't have to pay. Isn't free better? Free is always better. So sign up for tagmeadate.com. And, well, except for when you start paying and then we get rich. So aside, that was the secret part. Sorry, we're supposed to hide that one. This is not supposed to be a profit. All right. Anyway.
We'll edit that in post.
Right? We'll edit that out. Damn it, we're live. All right, we're gonna go to a commercial from, how about Noelle Foley and Frank the freaking WWE clown? We're gonna talk to these people eventually, and my first question is gonna be why and how and what, and then we're just gonna go from there. All right, here we go. Frank the WWE clown and Noelle Foley.
Ladies and gentlemen, Frank the Clown here, along with the beautiful Noelle Foley, and we are here in Pittsburgh to promote tagmeadate.com. What is tagmeadate.com, you ask? Let me tell you. It's a website for wrestling fans to come together and find love, like you and I found love via the internet. Because how did we begin to talk, Noelle? On Twitter. Twitter's a lovely place, but I'm telling you, if Tag Me a Date was around when Noelle and I canoodled, we might have found each other on there. With that said, sign up on tagmeadate.com and you'll be getting tagged in with dates left and right with fellow wrestling fans. You can sit and discuss the Royal Rumble. You can sit and discuss how you dislike Roman Reigns. You could talk about the gobbledygooker. You could talk about Noelle Foley's sweet little body.
We can talk about a cute clown.
You can talk about anything you want. And you can meet people. Tagmeadate.com.
Tag me a date.
Boom!